Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on how I make my drum tracks. So I have gotten a few people asking that from me, so I decided I'll make this quick video and show you the process on how I make the drum tracks for my videos. So the first thing, this is like the fastest way. That it doesn't work for every song, but if I'm lucky, it works. So what I'll do is I'll search on ultimateguitar.com. I'll search for Guitar Pro file. So let's, I don't know, let's pick a song like Metallica something. Let's do Master of Puppets. So here on the right side I can see the type. You can even here filter them out. Then I look for something that is rated high. Here you have this, which has many ratings, 5-star ratings, and it's a guitar profile. So let's check that out. And what I'm looking for here is guitar profiles with drum tabs in them. So here in the preview of the Ultimate Guitar Pro tabs, I can scroll down here and see that there's this drum set symbol, and that means that this Guitar Pro tab has drums in them. And what I can do now is, actually I can't, since they have changed this. Right here you can download the tabs. Before it was just scrolling down. But yeah, then you got the guitar profiles. Now you open them. And now you solo the drum track. You can even click here so we can listen at it and see if it's even close to the original. Actually, that was different part. Well, you got the first verse here. Well, it's somewhat close. So let's take this as an example. So now we have the drum track in this Guitar Profile soloed, and now when we go to File, which is the file at upper left corner, you export. Sorry, the language is in Finnish here, but you export it to MIDI. And right now you see where the file goes, and this is obviously pretty important so you don't lose the file. But I'll just put it here on the default place. And you can see here the name, what it's being exported as. We save. So now it's exported. And now when I look at the folder, which was actually the wrong folder. But yeah, let's find it there. And that's, by the way, one tip, because that happens pretty often when I do things fast. You just do the same thing again if you messed up, and now I can see the actual path. It was supposed to be in the other path, but now I can see it's here. And here I have it now. And now we open the digital audio workstation. And this is basically whatever program you use to record your guitars with. So I use Reaper. So we can now, let's actually delete this. And so we make a new track, just the default track. Unless if you want like a multi-track, you can obviously make or virtual instrument, whatever. I just use this because I use Easy Drummer to get the drum tones with. But yeah, make a new track of your choosing. Then you just drag it here. And this is kind of a tricky thing because sometimes the MIDI tempo maps are just all over the place. And what I like to do, since I just play small sections of each song, I usually don't import the tempo maps because sometimes they have like silly time signatures and stuff like that, which messes up kind of the interface when you're editing the drum track. So I don't import it. If you do full songs, I guess you could, if you don't mind that it might look a bit weird on the screen. Let's take a look how it looks like. So it's gonna, add all these time signatures here and it's gonna look a bit messy, but yeah, if you don't mind about that, then it's fine. At least it's gonna be on the right tempo. So yeah, now we have the MIDI file here with the tempos in place. If I wouldn't have these time signature markers, what I would do is I would go look at the guitar profile, and right here I see the tempo, or I would press F10, not F11, what I just did, and right here you can see the tempo. And sorry again for the language, but you can obviously see, like, this is, by the way, how to change tempos as well if you need to. But yeah, you see it's 212. So now you could right click on the place you want, insert tempo / time signature marker and 212. And if you need time signatures or anything, you can do it here as well. And remember to have this unchecked if your DAW has that, since it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna gradually increase the tempo to the next tempo marker, so it's gonna not work too well on when making these drum tracks. But yeah, you got the tempo here. I'm just gonna delete that, and now you go add whatever plugins you want to use for the sounds for the drums. And I use Easy Drummer 2, and let me just find that right here. Now you can change whatever presets you want. And well, if you play it back now, the MIDI track, it's gonna sound like fine, but usually what happens when you do it this way, it leaves the volume down at, I don't know what that is at, something like, yeah, 96 I think. So yeah, you can pretty much, if you want to just ignore the dynamics, that's something you can do later on if you want to anyways. You can Control+A and just drag them up, and this is gonna make everything at the loudest. Of course, that doesn't sound too good with the fills and stuff like that, and you can come here and change the dynamics if you want. Study your favorite drummers and see how they play like fills. Obviously every drummer, they can't play like a computer, so you need to adjust like the volume. So if you play 4 notes on a tom, like a fill, it's usually gonna have like the first notes are gonna be the loudest. So you can just do something like, well, this is a snare fill, it's a bit different, but I'm gonna use it as an example. You can just like, that's a bad example, let's try here. Well, you can play around with the volumes like however you want, and that's not really working since the toms changed, but I think you get what I mean. You can change like these 4 notes, so the first is like a little bit louder than the rest of the 3, and right here you got the first note that lands on the beat, like the first tom here, you put this the loudest and these 3 again a bit, a little bit less volume for these 3, and again here you put the loudest and you put a little bit less volume on these rest. So that's pretty much what you do here. And if you want to, sometimes the Guitar Pro drums already have some sort of dynamics in them, so that means that when you take a look at the volumes down here, they're gonna be waving a bit, like not like this, but something like this, and it's gonna be like a little bit down here. And what I usually do is with that kind of tracks, I'll put the loudest volume, so they're like now hitting the top, and the rest are at the original place. So that's good if you have like someone has done like a really good job with the guitar profile, and they have made like a section where there's lots of like a little bit more lower volume cymbals and stuff like that. That way you can keep them at the original, like how the guitar profile editor did them. So right now you pretty much have the drums. Of course, there's if I would do this and I would make a video, I would obviously I would listen to the original isolated drum tracks if I can find them, and if I can't find them, I look at drum covers, live videos, and just on the YouTube playing interface, I'll slow the speed down to a 50% or 75% so I can hear the individual like kick drums or snares or toms, whatever, and I can just edit them apart, like piece by piece, and that makes it like that way I can get really accurate drum tracks. And that's obviously something that I can't do for every song, but that's something that I really enjoy, because you can get pretty damn close to the original drum tracks that way. And right here you got this weird, I'm not sure if Lars plays these, but you got this triple. Well, I guess he could play them. It sounds a bit familiar, but yeah, sometimes the drum tracks have like a bit weird stuff in them. But if you have any questions, I'll gladly make another video on this topic. And let me see if I have anything else I was supposed to show you. So that's pretty much it for this, and just comment down if you need help with anything, and see you. I'm gonna make like more of these shorter lessons, so let me know if you want to see anything specific, and thanks for watching, and to the next video.